Hey guys, Gary here. We're going to do a follow-up on a video I did over a year ago on the Shield CQS site, which is the civilian version of the Shield CQB. Down here is a link to the old video. Go ahead and check that out. Watch that one first. Talks about the site in general. This update, we're going to take care of the issue that I had with the first one. In that video, we talked about the things I liked about the site and the one issue that I had. It was a pretty important one. That site would not hold zero. So I called the guys out and said, hey, if you want to send me one, I'll give it another shot. And they actually reached out to me after that and said, yep, we'd love to send you one. That one was an anomaly. You know, it's not epidemic of the brand. Let us show you. So they sent me one more than 6 months ago. And I've been using it since on a lot of different stuff. I've been loaning it out. It's kind of designed around, I believe, putting on an AR-15. It does come with 3 different size mounts. They're not quick release. So I put on an AR and I loaned it out. During that time, it got beat hard. Like, I threw it out of moving vehicles. I would turn it upside down and drop it on the optic. Basically, I was trying to abuse it for something in a way that could potentially be normal use. And, so it was being run hard, but I wasn't like hit with a fucking baseball bat or anything like that. And it performed fine. To this day, it still holds zero, which was the problem I had the first time I tested this site. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that one was the one-off, and this is the kind of quality that I should expect. Then I decided I'm going to put it on an AK because I didn't do that in the first video. So I put it on an Ultimac, and it works fine there. It does not get low enough to co-witness. So the dudes from Midwest Industries sent me one of these guys, which actually replaces the rear sight blade for the iron sights and then the optic mounts on top of it. What I had to do was order a T1 adapter plate straight from Shield, and then it fits on any T1 mount that's out there. So I just got the T1 mount from Midwest, and this is what we ended up with. So as you can see, it's still got a rear sight blade, and the Shield is mounted on the back of it. You can see that there's some scratches and shit on that from how I've thrown it around and pretty much used it hard. And it works. It does not co-witness with the adapter plate. Takes up too much space to use the rear sight, the rear iron sight. So it's not perfect on an AK, but it certainly is functional on an AK. In fact, that's where this is going to live. I'm just going to keep it on this AK for the foreseeable future. During all the testing that I did on it, my daughter used it during fighting rifle, which, as you guys know, is 1,000 rounds over 2 days. And it got run pretty hard. She actually did not want to give it back to me. So that's kind of one of the reasons this video took so long, is I had to pry it back away from her so that I could put it on this AK. My friend Dave White of NSR Tactical, he used it during the high-risk civilian contractor course, the direct action class, and that's like 3,000 rounds or more. He was testing out a new rifle that didn't have an optic, so he asked if he could borrow it, and he used it for that whole class. And that's probably about as hard as you can abuse gear in a civilian training class, is that particular class. And it ran fine for him the whole time. The only fault that he found with it is the switch in the front that turns the auto adjust on or off. He thought it turned on and off too easy, and he ended up with it in a position that he didn't want it in a couple of times. And that is what it is. It does slide very easy, but it didn't bother me at all. It didn't bother my daughter at all, or anyone I handed this rifle to other than Dave, using it through a very hard course. So during all that time, it worked. I had all the features from the original video, and it held zero. So now I'm thinking this is a pretty good sight. Now we're going to compare it to other mini red dots, RMRs and J-points and things of that nature. Its advantage over those is it is completely enclosed, so it's submergible, and it's more robust than those ones with the exposed emitters on it. So it is smaller than like a micro or any larger red dot, so it's in that mini red dot category, but I think you're going to get a more durable sight than all the ones that are out there currently. So overall, I think it's a pretty good value. And I'm going to give it a recommendation and say, if you're interested in it, down here at the bottom is the contact information. You're going to have to order it from England. They do not have a distributor in the United States as of beginning of December 2015. Hopefully they could get somebody over here so they're a little easier for you guys to get a hold of. If you want to know more about it, go ahead and post a question down here at the bottom, and I'll do my best to get it answered. And in the meantime, take it easy. Yeah, I only got footage of Dave and Heather shooting it.
So you needed a man shooting it on camera.